Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Kelsey Vanek Real Estate. Today I want to talk about something that you are definitely going to hear if you are buying a home. Terms like due diligence, earnest money, appraisals, inspections. Now I hear these terms all the time because I work in real estate. But if you are a new home buyer or you have bought before and you're just not familiar with those terms, they can definitely be overwhelming and confusing, especially when you're hearing them from your agent. I'm sure your head wants to explode. So today I want to break them down to help you understand them a little bit better. And I do want to preface this by saying these are particular to North Carolina. So if you're buying in a different state, I don't know the rules there, so don't quote me on that. The umbrella term here is going to be offer. When you love a home, you decide that you want to purchase it, you're going to make an offer, and in the offer are going to be terms that you're willing to complete in order to purchase the home. So let's talk about the elements of an offer. Let's start with due diligence because it is the big one that everyone's talking about in real estate right now, because in this market, buyers are willing to put down pretty big due diligence amounts in order to secure a home with multiple offers. But what does that mean when you put down a really large due diligence amount? So due diligence can be broken down into two different categories. There's the due diligence period and the due diligence deposit. The due diligence period is agreed upon in your contract and it ends on a specific date at 5 p.m. Typically in this area, we see 21-day due diligence periods, but it varies. And this is the period where you want to have all your home inspections done, you want to have your appraisal done, and you really want to make sure that you love the home, because if you don't, this is the time to walk away. What happens if you walk away? Well, nothing except for that you lose the money that you spent on your appraisal, your inspections, and your due diligence amount. And I know this sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but you're not bound legally to your contract at this time. So there are really no risks of walking away except for losing money. This brings us to the next category, the due diligence deposit. The due diligence deposit is owed directly to the seller of the home that you are under contract on within 24 hours of signed contract. So that means you submit a contract, all parties have signed it, you have got to write a check directly to the seller. That's got to come out of your bank account. It can't just be the money that was stored under your bed, because it's got to be traceable, and that is something that you have to talk to your lender about. Please make sure you understand how all of that works through your lender. So how much is the due diligence deposit? That is up to you, but in this market, you at least have to be willing to put down 1%, and oftentimes it's got to be more than that. It's going to depend on the house and if there are multiple offers, and also what you're comfortable with putting down, because again, it's an amount that you have to be willing to walk away from. Now, if your inspection reports come back, the appraisal comes in, and all is well, you still love the home and you want to purchase it, and you make it to that closing table, you will get that due diligence deposit credited back to you. So to put it simply, you will get your due diligence deposit back at close, and if you decide to walk away before close for any reason, the seller doesn't need to know that reason, but they are going to keep your due diligence deposit. And that goes for if you walk away after your due diligence deadline. They're going to keep it in that situation as well. I know that was difficult to hear, so let's talk about something a little less stressful, earnest money deposit. Earnest money is another deposit, but it's held in an escrow account. So sometimes it's going to be held by your real estate agent's firm or by your closing attorney. Unlike due diligence, if you decide to not purchase the home that you are under contract on before your due diligence period ends, you will get your earnest money deposit back. But similar to due diligence, if you walk away after that due diligence period deadline ends, you're not going to get your earnest money deposit back. And then again, similar to due diligence, at a successful close, you will also have your earnest money deposits credited back to you. So it is less of a risk, because if you walk away during that designated due diligence period, you'll get your earnest money deposit back. So purchase price. In general, this is the most important term of an offer. Purchase price can be complicated in a seller's market like we're in right now. And you should definitely talk to your agent about what the best purchase price is for the house you want to buy. But To put it basically, you can offer what the seller is asking, you can offer under what the seller is asking, or you can offer over what the seller is asking if you really love a home and you're looking at a multiple offer situation. I've mentioned this term a few times, under contract, so let's go over it. You love a house, you want to make an offer, you make the offer, the seller accepts, you're under contract. Let's say you make an offer and there's a multiple offer situation and yours doesn't get picked, or it's not a multiple offer situation and your offer just doesn't end up going through. You are not under contract, and any deposits that you had agreed to make don't matter. You move on to the next house. Earlier I mentioned a few things that you're going to want to have performed during your due diligence period. One of those things are inspections. So the most important inspection you're probably going to want is a general home inspection. This is going to give you a basic overview of any issues that your home may have. Now, an inspector is really not going to diagnose any issues, but for example, they may say the shower head in the home is barely putting out any water. So you may then choose to have a re-inspection done by a qualified licensed plumber. So a plumber can go in and diagnose it for you and give you a quote. Other inspections you could have done are termite inspections, pool inspections, HVAC inspections. You could get a radon inspections. Lots of different types of inspections. You just have to figure out with your agent which inspections are right for you and your home. Your appraisal is the other biggie to complete during your due diligence period. So you're gonna have to get an appraisal for the most part. If you're getting a loan, your lender's going to require it and they're also going to order it for you. There are a few situations that can arise from an appraisal. The first is it comes in at purchase price. Say you're buying a home for $350,000, it appraises for $350,000, woohoo, that's great. The second situation that can arise is the appraisal comes in over your purchase price. That's even better. So your $350,000 purchase price is now worth $360,000. You just gained $10,000 in equity. Good for you. Unfortunately, your appraisal can also come in low. So let's say that $350,000 house only appraised for $340,000. There are essentially three options in this case. One, you as the buyer can make up that $10,000 in cash. Two, the seller can come down in purchase price, or you and the seller can decide to meet somewhere in the middle. Or three, if you don't want to put down that $10,000 to make up for that, or the seller isn't agreeing to come down in price, you might be forced or might want to walk away. And again, that's what that due diligence period is for situations like that. So if you've made it through all your inspections and your appraisal and you still love the home and you want to purchase it, you've made it to your settlement date or your close date. These are other terms you're going to hear. In this area, the typical date, and this is all agreed upon in your contract, but the typical period for close is 30 to 45 days if you're getting a loan. That takes some time to process. Plus the sellers, if they're still living in the house, they're probably going to want some time to pack up their things and get out of there. I think we've covered some pretty basic ground here. The smartest thing you can do for yourself is get yourself a great agent that understands these concepts really well so that you don't have to understand them as well as we do. And of course, I would love to be that agent that helps you if you're in the Wilmington area. So please reach out and I'll see you in the next video.